Hey, what is going on, Fan Clan? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Phantom. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week so far. Happy Wednesday. I'm a little bit nervous after the Bucks lost last night. The Hawks came in, tied the series up at 2 games apiece. We lost Giannis. Who knows when he's going to come back? My fingers are crossed that he'll be able to play tomorrow night. We're going to need him. But we're not here to talk about sports. We're here to talk about Pokemon. Before I get into things too much, I do want to say thank you so much just for clicking on the video. It means a lot to me. If you are not currently subscribed, make sure to go hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment. It goes a long way for the algorithm, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. We are going to be talking today about Shining Fates. A couple days ago, we recorded a video going over the Hidden Fates price trends after the reprint has happened. The reprint has been kind of hard to catch in retail stores, but it's been slowly coming out for several months now, with some retail stores stocking 5 or 10 at a time, different marketing companies coming in depending on which retail store they're assigned to, and kind of throwing just a few up there at random times, random places, and you've seen a lot of people kind of find success in finding these in the wild. But today we're going to talk about Shining Fates. Shining Fates was a video that we also recorded about 4 months ago, a couple weeks after the set dropped, looking over price differential from when the set originally came out. So a couple weeks after the set dropped, prices kind of tanked and prices went down quite a bit. So we want to look at singles and we want to look at sealed product now, 4 months later, to see how this set has panned out over the last 4 months. Shining Fates has definitely been one of the sets that you've been able to find somewhat in retail stores, somewhat on the secondary market, albeit some of these prices have been at, kind of insane levels, sometimes double MSRP, triple MSRP, which really shouldn't be the case anymore because Shining Fates has been reprinted several times. There's been several waves that have come out, and it has been somewhat available in retail stores if you've looked hard enough. A lot of people have found success opening some of this product and getting it at a decent price. So a lot of these prices right now for sealed product should be close to MSRP, but how is that affecting the single market? And that's something we want to look at because the market has really been in turmoil lately. It's been all over the place. Some singles have risen, but a lot of singles have dropped, and a lot of people are starting to panic sell, and that's not great for the long-term investments or the long-term collector or anything like that. So we want to get a better understanding of where the market for this specific set is going forward. So with that being said, first, I want to start just by looking over the sealed product of Shining Fates. Shining Fates, when it first came out, was one of the most anticipated sets of all time. And the reason behind that was because of that shiny Charizard V Max that so many people wanted right away. Now, it turned out it wasn't that difficult of a card to pull, and Shining Fates has probably produced the best pull rates of any set ever. And I think that is having this dramatic effect on prices of singles, which we'll look at in just a little bit here. But when this set first came out, it kind of turned the community on its side. It turned a lot of collectors against each other because prices were all over the map. It was a very difficult set to find in stores. It was a very difficult set to find at your LGS because a lot of LGSs were charging 2, 3, 4 times MSRP to get the most money that they possibly could out of these products. And a lot of people were getting super upset and furious with it. There were people who were buying hundreds of ETBs at a time using bots or whatever the case may be, and then selling them for 2, 3 times MSRP, and it really started creating this community that wasn't great moving forward. And it took us a long time to start getting a little bit better and starting to heal a little bit from that area because it wasn't a great time to be a collector in this market. But if we look at Shining Fates sealed product right now, in my head, with the availability being somewhat more positive, prices shouldn't be this crazy. So when we look at things and we're looking at the Shining Fates Elite Trainer Box, for example, seeing a market price of $67, while that's not ideal, it's a lot better than the $85, $90, $100 that we were paying 4 or 5 months ago when the set first came out. MSRP for this product is about $50. Distributors have come in and some of them have raised pricing when it comes to wholesale price for some of these products, so I can understand a few dollars more than what the $50 MSRP price tag is when you factor in shipping of about $8 to $10 depending on where in the country you're shipping it. Anywhere around $60 in my mind is at least somewhat respectable. Seeing $67 is still a little bit higher than what I would like to see, but it's still healing. It's getting a lot better than what it was. The premium collections, the Dragapult and Crobat, seeing those online for around $45 isn't too terrible. Again, with shipping costs being in there, that's something that's a little bit bulkier, a little bit heavier to ship, so I can understand those prices. The tins are a little bit higher than what I would like to see, especially this Cramorant tin that's selling for $48 and the Bolton tin pinned. The lowest pricing is selling for about $47. That's $17, $18 higher than MSRP. These are light enough that you could probably ship them for first class. The retail tag on this is about $30, so this is a little bit higher than that. I'd like to see these right around the $38 mark, like what you see for the Eldegoss. Even that's a little bit high, but when you factor in shipping and things like that, anywhere between $35 and $38 I think is at least somewhat fair. When you look at these Mad Party pin collections down here, those are selling for about $5, $6 over MSRP. Again, not terrible. Same thing with the Shining Fates Pikachu collection. These were selling for like $40 to $45 right out of the gates, so this at least isn't too terrible pricing. However, when we look at singles, it's crazy to me to see how some of these singles have dropped over the course of just 4 months. And this is something that we're going to look at right here, and I want you to get a better understanding of where things are. I know in the last video that I recorded, my math wasn't great when it came to percentages. The numbers that I used were accurate as far as the differences go, but I didn't have my percentages lined up correctly. Here, they should be all good to go. So when we look at Charizard V-Max, which a lot of people were super excited about when it first came out, again, these prices are based off of TCG Player market pricing, and the reason I do that is because the videos that I've recorded in the past have all been off of market pricing from TCG Player. That's where I use a lot of my data from. That's where we've sold cards a ton in the past. That's where we'll sell cards a ton in the future. TCG Player just makes a lot of sense. There's always going to be opportunity, to buy on Amazon or buy on eBay for cheaper. We've talked about that in Knowing Your Sales Channels videos in the past. If you haven't looked at those videos, definitely scroll back on my channel and give those a view, because there's a lot of cards that sell differently depending on which sales channel you're looking at. But we're going to start out just looking at this Charizard V-Max right here. This was a highly anticipated card coming out in February when we recorded our original video. This card was selling at a market price of $564. When I looked yesterday, it's $177 for this card for the market price. That's absolutely crazy. That's a 68.62% difference. That's insane. This card has dropped dramatically. Even a lot of cards that are graded are selling well below that $564 mark, and $177. That just tells you how many of these cards are out there, and the pull rate for this card is actually a lot better. The second most expensive card in the set, and it's not even close, is the Suicune Shiny, and this is a baby shiny, which was selling in February for $55. The market price right now is about $35. So even that's a 36% decrease. There is a Skyla full art in the set. This is just data from the Shiny Volt collection, but I think the Skyla is selling for about $20. When it came out, it was quite a bit more than that. That's probably the third most expensive card in the set. After that, if we go down to the Ditto V Max, in February it was selling for $49. Now it's selling for $12. You can buy a near mint copy of Ditto V Max for $12. The shiny Ditto V Max, 75.5% difference. That is a huge, huge drop. Not even the biggest drop in the set, but a huge drop. After that is the black and gold Eternatus V-Max. That was selling for $42 in February. It is selling for $15 right now. That's a 64% drop from where it was just 4 months ago. Lapras V Max, this is the one that features the second biggest drop out of all these cards, was selling for $42 back in February. In June, it's down to $9. And we're talking the end of June. This is just 4 months of data here. So we're going down 78.5%. The next card we're looking at is the Eternatus V, or Eternatus V, black and gold card, however you want to pronounce it. It was $33 back in February. Now it's selling for only $12, which is a 63.64% decrease. Galarian Rapidash, the shiny Galarian Rapidash, was selling for $25 back in February. Now it's down to $15. That's a 40% decrease. Next up is the shiny Grimmsnarl V-Max, was selling for $21 back in February. Now in June it's only selling for $6. That's a 71.43% decrease. The biggest drop that we have is the shiny Ditto V, which a lot of people were really excited about, and it's a super cool looking card, selling for $20 back in February, and that was a couple weeks after the set came out. So when this originally people started taking pre-orders, like different websites started taking pre-orders for this set, this card was selling for like $75, $80 pre-order. In February it had already dropped to $20. Now you can find it for $4. $4 for a Ditto V. That's crazy to me. That's an 80% drop. Next up, we have the Inteleon, the shiny Inteleon. It's a baby shiny, $19 back in February. Now it's only $12, 36.84% decrease. Then you have the shiny Rillaboom VMAX, which was $18 back in February. Now it's $4, which is almost a 78% decrease. Toxtricity VMAX, $18 back in February. Now it's $5. The only card that is in the green, the only card showing any sort of growth whatsoever, is the baby Galarian Ponyta, which was $16 back in February. Now it's $1 more expensive, which is about 6% of an increase from where it was 4 months ago. You have the baby Cinderace Shiny, which was $15 back in February. Now it's down to $10, which is a 33% decrease. Then you have Decidueye, $15 back in February, down to $11 in June. It's about 27% that it's fallen. Yamper was $14 back in February. Now it's down to $10, which is 28.5% of a decrease. Ice Cube was $14 back in February. Now it's down to $6. So that's 57% of a drop. I have noticed a little bit of a correlation. The baby shinies, for the most part, haven't been hit quite as hard as the shiny V-Maxes have. There are some that have taken some fairly large damages, like the Snom here, but for the most part, the baby shinies are dropping anywhere between 25 and 40%, 25 and 50%, somewhere around there. Whereas you can see some of these V-Maxes are dropping 60, 70, even 80% in some cases. Ice Cube, $14, down to $6. That's a 57% drop. Lapras V Max from $14 down to $9. 35.71% decrease. There's that Snom that we were talking about. The baby shiny Snom went from $14 4 months ago to just $4 now, 71% decrease. Galarian Linoone, $14 down to $6, 57% decrease. Then we've got the Centiskorch V-Max. That shiny Centiskorch went from $13 down to $4. That's 69% of a decrease. Frosmoth, the shiny, $13 down to $8, 38% decrease. Sandaconda, $13 down to $4. That's almost 70%. And then the last card that I pulled data for was Duraludon. The shiny Duraludon went from $12 down to $4, 66.67% decrease. And then I do have the math on the ETB here. So the ETB market price was right around $68. You can buy a pack on TCG Player. The lowest pack price is $7.25. So if you buy 10 packs, it's still a little bit more expensive than the ETB, which is what we saw with the Hidden Fates ETB as well. EV Max is selling for only about $2.50, which isn't much at all. And then the sleeves from this set is selling for about $3. So you're looking at $72 for the packs inside the ETB, $2.50 for the V-Max, so that's $75 right there, and then $3.27 for the sleeves. So you're looking at about $78 in value for that ETB, and you're basically for a $68 ETB is what it's selling for right now. But the chances of pulling that $78 in value is just insane. If you just take, I mean, look at how many cards you have to pull just to get up to that $78 in value. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these rows right here adding together is just $76. So you're still off of that $78 that you're spending for the contents of the ETB. It's just crazy how far some of these cards have dropped, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for collectors or not. It's a good thing because these cards are a lot more available than what they necessarily were, and if you're somebody who's looking at creating master sets for Shiny Fates, you can at least go out and buy singles at a reasonable price. Like I said, it does seem like a lot of the baby shinies, especially when you get to the lower expensive ones or the lesser expensive ones, those didn't fall as much in pricing goes. Most of them are around 25 to 30% of a dip. But some of these like more expensive cards, the V-Maxes, the shiny V cards, those are actually dipped quite a bit, and you can buy some of them for $4, $5, $6 a piece, which actually is not too bad when you consider the market to go out and fill up your master set. Seems like it might be a fairly safe play, depending on how well these hold over time. But a lot of Shining Fates product that's out there still, a lot of it getting opened. I don't necessarily anticipate these prices dropping too much more. You might see some more movement here on the Charizard V-Max as more and more product gets opened. Maybe you'll see a couple of these drop a little bit further, like the Ditto V-Max or like the Lapras V Max. Those might fall down a little bit further. But these are some significant numbers to kind of stare at, to give you a better understanding of where the market is as far as modern goes. So I hope you like this information. I hope it helps you out kind of deciding where you want to spend your money, where you want to put your money into. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to look at this data. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment section down below where you're at with Shining Fates. Hopefully you can find it for at least a reasonable price if you're deciding to go and open some. Tell your LGSs, hey, this is the price point. This is what TCG Player is charging. This is what's out there. So there's no reason they shouldn't be lowering their prices down to closer to that MSRP level. Guys, thank you so much for everything. Like I said before, if this is your first time here, or if you've been here before and still haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like and leave a comment down below for the algorithm. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Peace.